Hey, what's going on? Louis Angel right here with 8 Mind. It is December the 13th, 2011. And I was actually looking online at one of the recent articles that they posted about the Higgs Boson or the so-called God particle. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the news on that part of the scientific part of what's going on in the world, but I ran across one of the articles and they're saying that they're very close to actually finding this God particle, the Higgs Boson Particle. Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, I'll give you a brief explanation because I myself, I'm barely digging into it. But it has to do with quantum physics. And, well, here's where it comes from. Here's where it's derived from. There's something called a standard model, which a lot of physicists out there, they agree, and they actually do a lot of experiments and a lot of formulas and calculations using the standard model. The standard model is pretty much this. Of course, it's a lot more complex and complicated, but I'll break it down in simple terms. You guys know that we're all made up of tiny little atoms, right? Everything around us, all matter is made up of tiny atoms, which have a nucleus and and electrons floating around, right? Now, within the atom, there are also neutrons and protons. Okay, so for a long time, scientists and physicists have thought that these were the only three components, because when they did their very deep analysis of an atom, that's all they would find, right? But over the past 5-6 decades, decades, they've been discovering new tiny particles. Okay, some that have mass and some that don't have mass, and these particles are pretty much what the universe is composed of and what the universe is made up of. Everything that's around us. We have light, of course, and the light are made up of some of those tiny particles called photons. We have many other neutrinos. I mean, there's so many other variations of these tiny particles that the entire universe is made of, and the Higgs boson is one of them. Okay? Now, what happened was that because they were discovering so many other tiny particles, the scientists, they were like scratching their hands like, man, I mean, this looks like a zoo, and that's pretty much what they call it, a zoo, right? I mean, we gotta actually start arranging these particles into groups of similar characteristics. So they did. They ended up separating these different particles that they would find, and they would put them into different categories. Now, up to this point, they've pretty much been able to predict and discover many of the particles, okay? And up to this point, though, they haven't been able to discover the Higgs boson particle. They've been able to predict it through using the standard model, because they've been able to predict all the other ones and discover them. But the only one that they have not been able to predict to discover, is the Higgs boson particle. Alright, so that gives you a little bit of background about what this is. And right now they have all their scientists, all physicists out there. They're just really studying the data that they're getting back from CERN. CERN is this big old facility which has an LHC, which is a large hadron collider, and it sends these particles, and they crash together, and then so many tinier particles just come out of it. Energy comes out. And they're trying to measure some of that energy and some of those particles to see if they can find the Higgs boson particle. So they're doing that. They're looking at the data. So far, what I've been reading is that it's thumbs up. Everything looks pretty good. There's no definitive actual answer for either yes, this particle exists, or no, this particle doesn't exist. But they're still looking. They're still researching. They're still comparing data and stuff like that. But right now we're living in exciting times. I'm excited about this because I'm kind of like a little nerd. But I love this stuff when new things like this get discovered. So I mean, it's just crazy. It's insane, and I like it. So I'll keep you guys updated when I find or I read up on new things about this, the Higgs boson particle. I'm pretty sure within the next few days they'll start throwing out some other data and stuff like that, and some new discoveries. So I'll keep you guys updated. That's it for me for today. See you guys on the next video. Peace out.